Hello, everybody. It's Gary Stuckey with Steve Perry News. Hey, get excited because here's some new news that maybe you haven't seen or heard yet. A new article with Steve in Rolling Stone. He talked with those guys and with Trev Lukather recently during a Zoom call. And the headline, though, says a new label, and he contemplates a solo tour. He says he misses it terribly. You know, he says there's been a big soulful reclaiming of this original feeling that I had about singing that I needed to get back to, says the former Journey singer. And you know what? I think we can all thank Trev Lukather and the guys for doing this. You know, and I'm sure Steve had plans, for doing some new music and things like that. But, you know, Trev really encourages Steve to keep going and do music, and and I know it makes his heart glad, and it makes him excited, and that's so awesome to me. And I know people will be saying, he's been talking about touring for a long time, that's old news, he's not going to do it. But according to this, they're talking about it. He mentions that he signed with a new label. He says, I'm very excited about it, and I'll have an opportunity very soon to work with these very, very musically creative people. And he's going to be mentioning that label sometime in the future. Talks about Traces and not touring behind it, but he just says it's a long story why he didn't tour, but, the fact that he's getting older. And he's got all these pains, he had the hip surgery, and he's got arthritis and things like that, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to do, but Trev is right there saying, come on, man, you can do this. And all Steve has to do is go to any Steve Perry fan page, like on Facebook or on this channel, and see the comments and see that they've been waiting for years. Come on, Steve, we want you to be back and do some new music and tour. But yeah, Trev, thanks for encouraging Steve. That's so awesome. But he's got that urge, that feeling again. He says it's something that I'm absolutely missing terrible. And he says, I can't even tell you how much, but there's been a big soulful reclaiming of this original feeling that I had about singing that I needed to get back to. And I didn't want to go out and turn the wheel or turn the crank. And he mentions The Greatest Night in Pop that was on Netflix, and he's talking about Michael Jackson and, all these people standing around, Paul Simon, Bette Midler, and it's just cool that he remembers back whenever We Are the World was happening, and that's what that documentary was about. But he's watching that, he's reminiscing, all these things that he sees and hears brings him back to earlier time. In his Journey years or his solo years back in the 80s, and it puts a smile on his face. So you put that together with the fact that Trev is encouraging him. You put that together with the fact that fans everywhere, like you watching this, are just happy to see him doing anything. But when you mention new music, a new label, you're getting excited. And then he mentions a tour. And there's so many people that have never seen Steve on tour, including myself, and I want that to happen. That'd be really cool. Of course, it's all about what Steve wants to do, but he's mentioning this. He's saying this, and I know he said it before, but he's got a lot of people backing him and saying, we want to see it happen. But a new record label, means new music. I mean, you wouldn't go to a new label unless you had some music that you've been working on. So I will let you know about that. I'll let you know about the new label and everything as time goes by. We'll see what happens, but get excited. And of course, this new article with Rolling Stone, I'll put the link in the description of this video. You can check it out for yourself. A really cool article. But what could Steve do? If Steve is hurting, Trev is encouraging him, he could sit in a chair. He doesn't have to run around the stage. There's ways you can get around that. You don't have to be 28 years old again, but you could sit in a chair. You could sing a little bit and then sit down and walk around, whatever you want to do, you know. But I know the fans would love it, you know. And I know that, like I said before, a lot of people are going to say, he's talked about this before. He always talks about touring again. But I think this time, you know, when you've got people encouraging him on a regular basis, and he's seeing all these things going on in the memories, you know, I think it's going to be hard to say no this time. And the fact that he's getting older, you know, I think he realizes, like we all do, this is the last hurrah. This is it. You know, if you want to tour, if you want to go out there and do some shows, this is it, man. But I'm excited for that, especially, you know, the tour and the new album, new music. You know, that would be a really cool thing to hear, a new album, and see what Steve can do, especially after the new song that he and The Effect just redid. It Could Have Been You. Great song. You know, he's got that spark again, you know. And a lot of people have talked about that they couldn't hear Steve or you know, various topics of conversation. But I heard him, and what you can hear is a strong voice. That's him in the background. And you put that, and you think about the new album and how his voice will sound. And I know he'll put a lot of work into it. And I know he'll have people encouraging him. And like he said, the label will, you know, be there encouraging him. But people like Trev and those guys from The Effect, I mean, will just make him be excited to record new music, and will put him in a good mood. And I think we're going to hear some good things from a new Steve Perry album. And but get excited about everything I've mentioned. A tour, now wouldn't that be cool? Let me know what you think. But like I said, once again, Rolling Stone article in the description of this video. Check it out. And until next time, everybody, don't stop believing. God bless you.